Hey everybody, I'm Levi Wright, Assistant Director here at OSUIT for Prospective Student Services, and we're back today with another live virtual tour of one of our wonderful technical programs. And today we're in the GM program to learn about what goes on as a student comes through this program. As usual, if you have any questions throughout this time or later on, please go ahead and put those in the comments so that we can get those answered and get you that information. If you have any family or friends that you think would benefit from seeing this or learning about this program, please send this to them so that they're able to see this information as well. Again, any questions, please ask those. We want to get you that information. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our awesome instructor, let him introduce himself, the program, and tell you all about GM here at OSUIT.
Thank you. I'm David Penrod. I'm the Asep instructor here at OSUIT. First off, I want to go ahead and say a great big thank you to the people here at OSUIT for allowing me to come in here and teach and giving me the opportunity. The other groups I want to say a thank you to is the General Motors and GM Asep programs. Without them, this program would not be available. And with the donations and all that they do for the program, if you look around, you see all the cars in here. We're all donated by General Motors, and the curriculum and all is developed and produced by the GM Asep part of the GM program. The other people we want to thank is our dealer sponsorship program. The dealers are absolutely fantastic for our program. As we get more into the program, we'll talk about the internships that they allow our students to go through. They also give us the opportunity of donating vehicles to us. They donate parts that we use as demos and teardowns throughout this program. With that being said, as I said, I'm David Penrod. I have been in the GM dealership world for about 35 years. I started out as a GM technician. I've been a service manager, warranty administrator, shop foreman, and GM Asep student instructor in the dealership, mentor. So I've been around the program for a long time. I've owned my own business for a few years in there, but most of the time I have spent in the GM world. The time being out there, we have learned, being as a service manager, what we are looking for as dealers, what kind of technicians we want, what kind of technicians we need, and how we got to go about getting them and retaining them. So that business side of it I have seen, I've worked it, so I'll bring that to the table as we go through the classes. Also, I have the training. I've worked in the dealerships. I've worked learning SI. I'm 100% GM trained. I am an ASE master technician. In the dealership, we do a lot of hands-on work with the computer system. Guys, we have to learn how to navigate through GM's world. And SI has most of the answers that you'll want and need to find, but we have to learn how to navigate through there to find them. As we go through this virtual tour here, guys, I will tell you about all the avenues that we have in here and the studies that we do. We cover 8 areas of the vehicle, from the engines, transmissions, drivetrains, electrical, heat and air conditioning. We do steering, suspension, so we cover the whole car. We have a wonderful alignment shop that is in another building from here, where we have 3 alignment machines set up. We also have the spring, McPherson strut spring compressors and that kind of stuff out there and available to us to be used. We also added into our field of study is our diesel program. That will come at the end of the second year, where we will donate 1/2 semester to just diesel engine work. But to start the program off, the first thing that you will do, we'll come in, we do our first semester, we go over the safety and GM fundamentals on the safety of the shop, classroom safety, and what it takes on the safety part of it, and then we move immediately into electrical. Electrical is the biggest part of the vehicle that you will have to learn. It is in every component that we dive off into, whether we're doing engine work, whether we're doing radios, whether you're doing rear axles, brakes, it is all electronic control at this time. We do a 6-semester rotation through here. That'll get you your associate's degree. Out of the 6 semesters, you are here on campus a 1/2 a semester, and then you go to the dealership for a 1/2 semester, and then you come back, and we alternate like that through the full 6 semesters. So you're actually on campus 8 to 10 weeks, you're in the dealership for 8 to 10 weeks. The dealership part of it, I will go ahead and get that out of the way. They allow us as a working internship for you as students to be able to go into the dealership, work with a mentor, one of their A-level technicians, as a helper, and be able to learn from him. As a student going into it, you have advantages over just somebody walking in off the street. Because most generally, if I would have hired somebody coming in off the street, you would have probably been put on the lube rack, maybe cleaning the shop floor, whatever, as a low end would be. But as a ASEP student, you get the opportunity to go in and actually work as a technician with a technician and develop your skills that way there. So you have an immediate advantage over somebody just walking in off the street. Plus, you're paid. That's a big thing. They do pay you to go in there and work. So like I said, that is an 8 to 10 weeks, depending on how the schedule falls, that you end up getting to be able to do that there. The total semesters, you're looking at the ASEP program, it's a 56-hour college credit, and then you have 24 hours of gen eds in the dealership, in the school. So you end up with about a total of 80 hours as we go through, and you end up, like I said, earning your associate's degree. While you're here, you will be trained in the GM training center of learning. You will have web-based training. You end up coming out somewhere in the 80% range, 80 to 85% range of being GM trained. Where it is where it falls into place, we will actually end up getting you some of GM hands-on training through the course of the program whenever it lines up being able to be done. You will be required to get your 609 ASC certification for AC handling and all. And you can also take your ASCs off campus if you so desire. But that is part of the GM training that you will have to become 100% GM certified. The demand for technicians, guys, is absolutely incredible. Our demand is set up to where we're needing about 26,000 new technicians per year. We are retiring a rate of about 24,000. That puts a need of about 50,000 technicians a year that we need to replenish. Trade schools like this, GM ASEP program, whatever other technical program you go through, need somewhere, we put out about 37,000 students into the world, into the technician world. That still leaves us with about a 13,000 shortfall, technician shortfall. So the demand for technicians is there. Most of my students work through this pandemic that we went through. Most of them were still in the dealerships working because the workflow doesn't slow down that much. We had a few dealers that it did slow down, but as far as I know, they are back to work now as it has started picking back up. So that being said, we'll take a tour around the shop a little bit, get an idea of what we have here in the shop, what we work on, and what we do as we go. Probably one of the biggest things that we like to do is we have the gasoline engine group that we work on over here. We have we got the 4 cylinders, we got the 3 6 cylinders, and we have the V8s, the 5.3s. We do have those over in the warehouse where we will bring them over and we do tear them down, rebuild them, put them back together. And we'll do all the measurements and everything else that we have available to us. We have all the special tools here to actually do all the measurements, the crankshafts measurements, the valve spring height measurements and all that there. We will go through that there as we're building these back together. So we will learn how they work, not just take bolts apart and put them back together. We will understand how they actually work. And as we go through that there, we have the automatic transmissions. These over here that we have sitting here are the 6 speeds. We tear transmissions down, we rebuild them, reassemble them, find out what went wrong with them, because most of the stuff that we have here is donated by GM, either from the warranty center or straight from General Motors out of the new products that they are changing. So we have some new, I just got in new 9-speed sitting back over here. I got 10 brand new front wheel drive 9-speed sitting over here that was donated by General Motors to us that we will be tearing down and seeing how they work as we go through. Moving on, we'll tear down, rebuild rear differentials. We have the 8.5s here. I do have a few full floating 10.5s, 11s over there that we bring over also, and we have the front wheel drive, the front drive axle out of the 4-wheel drives. We have Corvette rear end sitting around here, so we see and be able to tear apart and put back together a lot of different products that we deal with over here. And move over here to this other group of engines sitting here. This is our diesel bunch. This is the 4-cylinder diesel that you'll see in the Colorettas, Equinoxes, and Cruises. We also have the Duramax sitting there. We will, at the end of your second year, we have added, like I said, the diesel program to the GM ASEP program. We will be tearing these apart, putting them back together, learning how they work. Biggest part of the program, guys, understand, we need you to learn how the vehicles work, because you'll never be able to fix it if you don't understand how they work. Moving on, guys, over here we have, when we first get here, you'll do the electrical part, which will be the GM set boards. Learn how to build the electrical circuits and what the switches, resistors, and all actually do to the electrical side of the vehicles. We have all kinds of different components, locks, actuators, turn signal flashers, bulbs, switches. We have those stacked over here where we actually build circuits, build components to make them work and see how they work. Be able to take the meter and measure and see where we have voltage drops and opens and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to the program as we're going through. We have manual transmissions. As you see, we got all the cars, guys. I got diesel pickups. I have the Escalades. We got the Buicks. We got the Cruises. We got Camaros. Our program, like I said, GM donates vehicles to us, and they are absolutely fantastic about giving us vehicles that go through, and we work on them. We don't just come in and just disassemble a vehicle and just put it back together for the fun of it. Most of these vehicles are perfectly fine right now and operate as they should. And we will start learning there. I start with a vehicle that works and has no issues, and that's what we start teaching off of, so that you know and learn what normal is for that vehicle. And once we get that down pretty well, then we will start adding problems, unhooking wires, unhooking sensors to see what problems that does create once that starts happening, so that you start seeing what malfunctions happen in a vehicle, so that we learn what is open, what is not open. As the vehicle part of it is in depth, because you have to learn, you have to understand how to use meters, you have to understand how to use SI, you have to understand how to use the scan tools to be able to go in and be able to diagnose what these cars are nowadays. It's not just grab a hold of a wrench and start turning bolts, because that ended whenever I started, and we don't see that very much anymore. You have to be able to diagnose in the dealership world. Like I said, we need technicians. We need them bad. Throughout all the dealers, everybody's looking for them. Everybody wants quality trained technicians. And going through a 2-year program like this, guys, gives you a foot up on any other person out there that is looking to just walk in the door of a dealer and go to work. And the field's open to males and females. Not just the guys walking, being the male going in there getting the job. Females are quite capable of doing and working on these cars. It just takes time, patience, and knowledge to learn how these things work. And that being said, I mean, this field will always be here. My guy, like I said, my guys are working through the pandemic, and your earning potential is unlimited. It depends on you, how hard you want to work, how much you want to commit to the task of learning, and that's what this job's about. So that being said, guys, OSU IT has gave me a fantastic shop. We're in a little over 6,000 square feet. We are heated and air conditioned, so I do not have to sweat during the summertime, which is a big deal. Guys, I'm going to tell you, till you're in a dealership that does not have air conditioning, you don't understand what this is to be able to walk in here and enjoy AC during the summer. So.
We do have one question. We know that students, when they come through a program like this, they're going to need tools when they enter the workforce. Are there any options for students to buy their tools while they're in school?
Matco and Snap-on have a student program set up where they give huge discounts to the students in the automotive programs. Coming in, yes, you will need your basic hand tools in here to get started with, because everything that we do in the shop, we actually do with our hands. We do with ratchets and sockets and end wrenches and that kind of stuff there, because most of the task at hand, and you will learn, is a lot of feel and touch. So whenever you put an impact in your hand, you don't feel how tight the bolt was or how loose the bolt was, and you need to know that there. And you will learn that over time, and then and the dealerships, you do use impacts and all that there. But in class in here, no, we do with hand tools only. As I said, I want you to learn the touch and the feel of the components. So,
awesome.
Any other questions?
That pretty much covered it. What's one thing you would say to a prospective student considering the GM program here at OSUIT?
If you want to come in here and learn, this business has been fantastic. Like I said, I've been in it for over 35 years. I had an opportunity to work with really great service managers, and I've worked with some that were not so great. My first service manager told me one thing: always come to work willing to learn, listen, pay attention, so that you become the asset that the dealer needs no matter what happens around you. So, that being said, Levi.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time to share this with everyone. Thank you all for joining. And again, even if you're watching this later on, you can still put those questions in the comments and we will get that information back to you. Make sure you like and follow the Friends of Pete on both Facebook and Instagram so that you can keep up with these live videos as we continue to do more programs. Ask lots of questions, and remember to stay safe, stay true to you, and go Poke.